If you're planning to open a practice in 2026, I need to warn you. This could be one of the toughest years for independent healthcare physicians. You've got rising competition, tighter regulations, shrinking insurance reimbursements, and increasing patient experience expectation are all pushing many practices to the breaking point. In fact, most practices that launch in 2026 won't make it past their second year. And it's not because of bad medicine. It's because of avoidable business mistakes. In this video, I'm going to break down the main reasons private practices will fail in 2026, and more importantly, how to avoid them. So let's talk about reason number one, lack of a solid business plan. The problem is that many healthcare professionals focus solely on patient care without having a clear business strategy. And without a plan, it's easy to overspend, underprice your services, or miss growth opportunities. So here's how you're going to avoid that. First, you need to create a comprehensive business plan that includes your goals, who your target patient is, and what you want to focus on in your practice. It's also going to include revenue projections and marketing strategies. Now, it's important to regularly revisit and adjust this plan as your practice grows. I personally like to do an end-of-the-year analysis for what we've accomplished, what we're working on, and what goals we have for the next year. Now, if you need help with this, I have a fabulous business plan template that you can purchase online and edit to help get you started. The link to this is in the description. Now, reason number two, it's poor financial management. Now, this one might hurt, but it's true. Most physicians were never taught anything about business in med school or residency. They didn't teach you how to start, run, or manage a practice. And this is a huge problem because if you don't understand your numbers, you can end up with high overhead, underpriced services, and really no idea where your money's going. I personally have seen so many practices lose thousands of dollars because of this. Some even had employee theft, embezzled money, and the doctor didn't even catch it for months, sometimes years. So if you're not looking at your financials regularly, or worse, if you don't know which numbers to look at, then your revenue is going to drop. And your practice could fail before you even realize what happened. So here's how to avoid this. Look at your numbers in your KPIs, which stands for Key Performing Index. Look at these numbers regularly, like monthly. Know what numbers to look at. And if you aren't sure, check out the video I did on what KPIs to look at in your practice. You can use accounting software or hire professionals to manage your cash flows and your expenses. This could be an office manager, a bookkeeper, a CPA, or a consultant. You also need to review your financial statements monthly to monitor their performance. It's important to know how many new patients you're getting each month and how many you're losing. It's important to know how much money is still out there that you need to collect. It's important to know how many denials you have and make sure somebody's out there actively collecting and working on those denials. And you need to set realistic budgets and pricing structures that cover costs and generate profit. Know your profit margins. Now, if you need any help with this, schedule a free 30-minute call with me. The link's in the description. Reason number three, ineffective marketing. This is a problem because most physicians know they need to market their practice, but they have no idea what to do or how to do it. So let's discuss this. You need to market your practice to get new patients to your practice, and also let people know where you are and what you offer. When we talk about how to market your practice, there are tons of different ways, and you can watch another video I made on this topic. But the important thing to remember is what works for some physicians may not work for you, and vice versa. So it's important to try different things and see what works best for your practice. And you as a business owner need to pay attention to this. You need to know what's working, what isn't, and how much you're spending on this. Now, many practices try to rely solely on word of mouth, or they think they're going to open their doors and patients are going to come running. But that's not how it works. But what they do fail to do is build an online presence. And if you aren't online, patients aren't going to know that you're there. And even if you were established at a hospital and you were super busy, but then you moved and started your own private practice, if you don't have an online presence, your patients aren't going to know where to find you. So here's how to avoid this. The number one thing to do is make sure you have a solid online presence. This is going to include a user-friendly website that shows patients exactly how to call and schedule an appointment. You also need to make sure your address and phone number is correct on all major websites. And you need to be on Google so when patients look for you, they can find you. Another problem is that physicians sometimes try too many things at once. Try doing one thing at a time so you know what works. And it's not a bad idea to hire a marketing company to help you. But remember, There are thousands of different companies and they're not all equal. Some are better at one thing, some are better at another. And personally, I wouldn't jump right in and start doing Google ads and do pay-per-clicks until you've already done some of these other basic things. And a good marketing company is going to know that. Also, make sure you use local SEO strategies so you can rank higher in the results. Remember, without effective marketing, attracting your patients becomes a major challenge, which is going to affect your bottom line. Okay, reason number 4, inadequate patient experience. Now, this is a huge problem because patients pay more attention to patient experience more now than ever before. They know if your office is rude. They look at if it's clean or not. They're looking at if your practice doesn't follow through with what they're supposed to do. And they realize they can go to another physician nearby if any of these things happen and isn't the way they like them. So you can avoid this by training your staff to provide exceptional patient care, from the front desk to the treatment room to when the patients leave your office. It's important that your staff is friendly, and this includes when they answer their phone and when they greet your patients. Also, implement systems for follow-ups and new appointments and appointment reminders. Also, you can ask for patient feedback. Regularly evaluate patient satisfaction. And make sure you're addressing the complaints promptly. And if you seem to be getting consistent complaints about one thing, make sure you look at investigating it. And then make sure you have a solution and address it. Okay, reason number 5, lack of support for both physicians and staff. Overworked owners and staff leads to burnout, decreased productivity, and proof of poor decision-making, which all equals high turnover. If you don't have a mentor or a consultant or an office manager or even another provider who is successful and you can talk to about all these things, then you don't have anybody to bounce ideas off of or help you figure out solutions to things that are going on in your practice. And because of that, it can lead to burnout, which often results in quality of care, which affects patient satisfaction, and then possibly a business closure. Now, you can avoid this by finding somebody who understands your business, somebody that you can rely on and trust. And honestly, practice consultants are great for this sort of thing. They have seen and worked with many different physicians and clinics, and they can help you navigate issues within your own practice. Also, remember to delegate tasks effectively and build a strong team to share responsibilities. Make sure each staff member has a clear understanding of what their job description is, but make sure they can overlap a little with others so they can help out if needed. Also, set boundaries to help maintain a healthy work-life balance. Pay attention to some staff members who are wonderful, but they seem stressed out because they're overworked or spread too thin. If possible, you may need to hire another staff member. And invest in your staff's well-being through training, recognition, and support systems. So now you know the top 5 reasons that private practices can fail. So you're already ahead of the game. Now it's time to get a plan together so you can avoid these pitfalls. And if you're not sure where to begin, or maybe you need a little help with this, then go ahead and schedule a call with me. The link is in the description. And if you want to start with putting together a solid business plan, then check out this video I did on how to create a business plan for private practices. It's packed with actionable advice that can help you map out your goals, manage your finances, and set your practice up for long-term success. And if you want the editable version, then you can click the link in the descriptions and go print it off. Now don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.